Hey guys, welcome back to the fourth video of building and releasing your own NPM package. So in our previous video, we have learned like how this Playwright reporter is going to work. So we have a basic class called ortoni report, which implements the reporter, and then we have the following functions, right? If you go within the reporter interface, you can see like we have many functions. We might use everything later on, but for now I think this is pretty much enough. On test begin, this is also not required actually. We'll just uh, delete that now. So we are going to focus on the on test end. Okay, and here we have a two folders. One is the test, another one is the test example. So I'm just going to move the this demo to do within the test folder, and let's delete this one. Okay, now if I go to my playwright config, so it is going to work based on the test directory, right? Now let's go to our example spec, go to auto report. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to do like we are going to get the necessary information that's going to be mandatory. For example, if I go to our reporter, so what we need actually, we need the file name, right? So for example, here we can see like we have this demo to app.spec.ts, and then we have this example spec.ts, right? So we got both the files here. So of course I have executed this, and this is the result. So yeah, and if I go within the to do spec, so you can see like we have this mark, new to do mark all as completed items, and we have a lot of things, right? And then we have project like Chromium and Firefox. Let's focus on only the Chromium for now. So let's go and filter it out. Yeah, so here we have this file name, then followed by the spec name, and actually this is the spec name or file name, and this is the actual uh, describe name, I can say. That is what spec name actually. And then we have the project, and then we have the test name. Now once I click on the test name, of course you can see there it will give the title, it will give the location, so it will have the column name, line number, and the column name, and then we have the status and duration. Okay, so let's not worry about everything now. Let's focus on the very basic. So what we are going to achieve now is, we'll try to get the file name, we'll try to get the spec name, and also we'll try to get all the uh, this name, all the test within the file name. Okay, let's see how to do it. It's going to be very simple actually. So let's remove this console, let's work on the. Okay, so already we know what result is going to give me. Result is going to give you basically like all the all the steps, and also um, the status, whether it is passed or failed, and it is going to give you all the attachment. If there is any standard output or error, it's going to give you, it's going to also give you the duration, start time, and all those things. But we want to fetch the details related to the execution, the file that's names, right? So for that, of course, we have to use the test, not the result. So if you see on the test end, we have two arguments. One is the test, and another one is the test result. So if you go inside the test result, and it is also interface, so you can see we have the attachment, we have the, so we have this title path, which is going to return a list of titles from the root down to the test. This is what we are going to focus on now. And then we have annotations and expected status, ID, locations, a lot of things. You can just go through it, you will understand. Let's focus on the title path. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's just print this one. So I'm going to say like test dot title path, and it's actually going to return us an array. So it's going to return us an array. I think we can directly print that within the console log. So yeah, it should work fine. Okay, now let's go to our terminal, and I'm going to say before that I have to add a script to execute everything. So let's go to our script, and here I'm going to say test, and then npx playwright test. Okay, let's bring our terminal, and here I'm going to say npm test or run test, both should work fine. So it will go to the test directory, and within the test directory, what are the files we have, it is going to execute everything. I'm just executing everything so that you will understand, because if you go to the example spec, here we don't have the describe block. So if we have describe block, the result will be different, and If you don't have, that will be different. So if you go to the true app spec, so here you can see like we have a lot of describe block, so that will make sense to execute everything and check. Okay, now let's go here. So yeah, it's still running, but I think we got the more information. So first one, you can see we have a empty, because I don't know what is that, so let's not worry. So this one is project. So array of 0, we don't know what is this, it's still blank, let's leave it for now. Array of 1, yeah, this is 0 1, yeah. Array of 1 is Chromium, that is the project name. What is project? Project is basically if you pass from here, right? So if you pass from here, this is the project. So you can have multiple project, it does parallel support everything, right? So let's bring the terminal. Yeah, and then the to do, this is the file name, right? And then this is the spec name, and this is the test name. So similarly we got all the things. So basically this array gives us 5 data, and we are still not aware what is the 0th one. And yeah, the same thing we got. So here you can see like since 0 1 2 3, here we got only 4, because here we do not have the in the example spec we do not have the describe block, right? So describe block is not there, since so we didn't get the describe name. Actually we got only the test name. Okay, yeah, that is right. Okay, so let's destructure this. So let's focus on only one thing. So this is the array. In this array we want to get the yeah, we'll take the project name as well, we'll get the file name, we'll get the describe name, and we'll get the test name. Okay, so 0 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, let's move this to the right, and let's close this. Let's go back to auto report. Okay, so before that, what we want to do is we want to maintain a structure for the TypeScript. So that is the advantage of using TypeScript. So within the src folder, I'm going to create a folder called types, and within that I'm going to say like test result.ts, and here we are going to create an interface, and I'm going to name it like test result. Okay, so what are the things we need within this interface? We can keep on adding based on our project requirement, but for now I'm interested to know what is the project name, and it's going to be of type string. Then followed by, I'm going to get the result as well, because that is very important for any test, right? So result, and that is also going to be of type string. And then we need the project name, then we need the spec name, that is the describe block name, right? So what we call the describe block, this one actually is the file path. That is how I have configured, I guess. So I'll just go with that. This is going to be also string, and then we have the this is the test title, and this is the call as completed. Yeah, this one, this is the spec title actually. Okay, so I don't know what naming convention I followed in my project. Let's do this one. So I will make it like title. Title is basically your should allow me to mark or should clear the text input. Then this guy is basically this one. So let's focus on inspect something. This one is the test name. Okay, so let's make it like test name, and this is going to be of type string with lower. Yes. Okay, yeah, so we got this. Now I'm going to do one change. Go to control plus comma and go to workspace and auto save format. Where is format? You can search for format on save. Okay, so that means whenever I save the file, it will format the code. I don't have to worry about formatting again and again. Okay, so yeah, and are we using this? Not now, but we might use in the future. So okay, let's remove this now. Delete all unused report. Okay, I mean unused imports. Yeah, so from the title path we are going to get all the details. We know that we are going to get all these things. So let's destructure this again. Okay, so How we are going to store? We are going to store it in a array for now. So let's do the array. Okay, so I'm going to say like private, this one, private test result, and it is going to be of the type test result, and this guy is from our interface. If I go and click, not this interface, I want to take it from my interface, which is here. We have to add default, that should be default, and I'm going to import this one. So import, for default we don't have to use the curly braces, that's right. Yes. Uh, so it says, since already Playwright also has this test result, we are doing the same, that's why it's giving us error. So what we'll do, we'll just change this name, right? So instead of test result, we can select test result data, and here we can do the input now. Okay, so that should work fine. This is going to be also test result data. Okay, and that's going to accept an array, so we'll just make it like I want to array, and we'll start with an empty array. Okay, so what is this test result, right? So test detail is an interface which has this mandatory field. If you don't want to make it mandatory, you can add the question mark, that is optional, so it will not become mandatory, but we want to make it mandatory because these are of course mandatory detail, right? Now what we'll do, I'll just store it like this. Okay, okay, so first of all we'll say like const, then followed by what we want. We want okay, so we want the project name, so const project name, and we are going to get it from the test, right? So test dot title path, and since it's an array, we have can access it directly. And what's the array? So project path is 0, this is the 0 is empty, and this is the 1, right? So we'll make it like 1, come on, yeah. So this is going to be my project name, and then followed by I want the result. So we are going to get the result from the result, right? So here I can say like const, since here also we have result, we cannot even make use of the variable name as result. What we can do is we can maybe use underscore result, I think. Yeah, can work. We'll get like result dot status. So status will give us detail like whether it's a passed, failed, timeout, skipped, or interrupted. Okay, so I'm going to make use of it. Yeah, okay, this is not expression, this is string. Yeah, so we have stored that in the result, right? It's correct. Instead of result can be, I will like to make it like status, that will be meaningful. So let's change here. Okay, let it be underscore result. I will tell you the use of this interface, why we are getting this interface. Okay, then followed by we are going to store the file path, right? So file path equal to test dot title path of array of 2, is it 2? Yeah, 0 1, and this guy is basically a 2. Okay, then in the third one we have the spec name, that is the test name, right? So let's go and do that quickly. And also we want the title, so this one is going to be my title, and this one is going to be my test name. So test name is going to be in the position of 3, and this guy is the last position, of 4, right? Yeah, that is correct. Okay, now okay, so assume that we have the we have like more tests, right? So we have example spec dot, we have true spec, so we have lot number of tests, right? So after each and every test, for example this is a test block, right? Once this is executed, we'll get the result in the on test. Okay, but we want to get a collective data, not a single test data, right? So what we'll do, we'll just simply, what are the details we are going to get, we are going to push that to the test result array. That's why we have the test result array. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just say like test result dot push, and here we are going to push everything like the project name, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so how we are going to push it? So we'll create an object and we'll push the object within the test result. Okay, so let's do that. So first of all, we are going to create a const result data equal to, this is going to be an object, and I'm just going to move this guy here, and then I can simply remove all the const, and I can change the equal to as colon, and at the end I have to add the comma. This one. Okay, just remove this one. Yeah, so we have a working step, and let's name this to status. That will, so we got the result data. Within the result data, we have the project name, we have the status, we have the file path, test name, and the title, test title basically, right? So what we'll do, we'll just simply push this guy to this guy. Okay, and this is going to be of type my test result data. So for example, if I, let's consider I didn't add the title, right? So it will give us an error saying like, hey, you have the mandatory field as title, but it is missing the type. So that's the beauty of TypeScript, and that is why I prefer using TypeScript rather than the JavaScript, because when we build a project, right, if you miss one thing, definitely it will take, of course we can debug, we can fix, but in the compile time itself, if you are getting something, then definitely that's going to be really good for you, good for us actually. I'm going to increase the font size a bit so that you will, sorry, I should have done that earlier, but I forgot somehow. Let's make it to 22. I think that will be good to see. Yeah, it's better now. Okay, I don't know how much time I'm recording this, but I hope you are not bored yet. Okay, so we have the on test and we are able to get the result, right? So don't worry about the async and await here, because it's just a class and we are not handling any type of promises, so it will just run in sequence. Okay, now what do we want to do? We want to get the on test end as well, right? So once all the, I mean all the tests are completed, we want to get the final output. So we can get that with the help of OnEnd. So I'm just going to copy this guy OnEnd and paste over here. And here, if you want to do the import, of course you can do all the import. Okay, let's remove the promises. We don't want this promise. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and let's remove the question mark out of here. So on the test end, so like after all the test ends, OnEnd is basically your last call, like the reporter last call. So last function. Okay, so I'm going to print this test result. Okay, so since we have got all the test data, the result data, let's name it like test data, more appropriate I guess. Yeah, so once we get all the test data, we are pushing to the test result and we are going to print the test result now. Okay, so console.log, then followed by test result, this dot test result. Yes, yeah. Now let's go to our terminal. I'm going to run this again, so let's see what we are going to get. I did it very easily now because I have been working on this for like 3 months. But when I started there, for the very first time. Of course, it was pretty hard, I can say. Not that much hard, but kind of hard actually. Okay, so we have one challenge now. So if you see here, this looks very ugly actually. Okay, it will be tough to get to show you entire thing. So I will just have one test with out describe block and other test with describe block. Okay, so lot of code actually, but we might need this in the future. So what we'll do, we'll just add a skip here. Okay, so let's get this, let's add a skip. Okay, let's go and run this. The recording time, the recording time, it's already 24 minutes. Nice. Okay, so we got this. Still we have a lot of things here. Okay, so here you can see like we got the project name as Chromium, the status as skipped. Okay, we are getting all the skipped status names. If you want to ignore that, of course we can write an if condition and we can ignore that, but I'm going to leave this for now. So let's focus on the non-skip test. Of course we want the status skipped as well. So if you see the ortoni report, right, so once we click on the skipped, you can see we are getting the skip test also, right? So it is good to have, but just to show you in the console log, yeah, so from here you can see, right, so the status is passed, the project name is Chromium, the status is passed, and this is the file path, and this is the test name, and this is the title, right? So since we have the describe block, we are getting new to do. But what will happen if you don't have the describe block? So for example, here you can see like it says project name Chromium, status passed, file path is example spec, and test name is has title, but title is undefined, right? So if you go to the test name, we consider that to be a described name, but and we consider this to be a title name. But now you can see the challenge, the first challenge is like we have this title, so title is undefined, and the test name is becomes your uh, title, the title name, right? So we have to figure a way, like if the test name is not there, we'll consider that to be title, or also we can manipulate this in the HTML also. So we'll see that in the from the next video. But for now, of course, you got an idea like how the basic steps are going to work, right? So with these two functions, we are able to extract most important details, right? Don't worry about the steps in the sense like uh, if you go to any test, there you have all the steps are there. The project name of course we got already, status also we got, we can get the duration very easily. We have got the file name, we have got the partial, I mean file name, this is the title, and this is the partial file name which we got from here. We got the project name, we got the new to do also, the test name, right? So we got almost all the necessary. Let's not focus on the dashboard, let's focus on the left hand side first, right? So we are able to fetch most of the details that are required for any reporter. So from the next video, of course, we will continue more on that, and we'll also fix it like if there is title, what to do, if there is no title, I mean if there is no test name, what to do. Okay? So we'll discuss all those in the upcoming videos. I hope you are enjoying the playlist along with me. If so, do let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Tada, bye bye, take care.